Your full vote for the good of Sarawak. Tony Fernandez resigns as Group CEO of AirAsia X. Small COVID-19 wave due to XBB variant in Malaysia. Those are the headlines for tonight. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, and this is TVS Nightline. The young and new voters are smart when it comes to selecting their representatives and should not be underestimated. Parti Pesaka Bumiputra Bersatu PBB Vice President Datuk Seri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah is confident that the young and new voters will support Gabungan Parti Sarawak GPS in the 15th general election.
Don't underestimate the youth. I'm looking after the youth. I really salute. I really look up to the youth because we have been having our jelajah belia to all the district in Sarawak. The feedback in our town hall, I'm very impressed with them. So I am very confident the youth in Sarawak will be with us with GPS, inshallah. Yeah. I'm not too sure about the other states, but for Sarawak, I salute the youth down here. They have always been with us.
Based on a post-mortem for the previous state election held in December last year, young voters aged 21 and above are prone to cast their votes for GPS.
Kita baru saja melalui pilihan raya negeri. Walaupun undi 18 belum lagi diguna pakai pada bulan 12 tahun lepas, that is just 10 months, 11 months yang lepas. Tapi kalau kita lihat tren mengundi, anak-anak muda, karena pada bulan 12 yang lepas yang boleh mengundi adalah 21 tahun. 21 tahun boleh dianggap orang muda. 30 tahun boleh dianggap orang muda. Kita dapat buat postmortem selepas pilihan raya. Lorong pertama, lorong kedua, ini adalah lorong-lorong yang mana kita tahu pengundi-pengundi muda. Pengundi-pengundi 21, 22, 23, 24 semuanya mengundi kita pada masa itu.
He said that the new age group are able to evaluate GPS government credentials in developing the state. Abdul Karim told this to reporters during DECAFIT 2022 press conference on Monday. The upcoming GE15 offers the best chance for Gabungan Parti Sarawak GPS to end the opposition era in the SIBU parliamentary seat. Parti Pesaka Bumiputra Bersatu PBB Vice President Datuk Dr. Anwar Rapai said GPS will be able to defeat the opposition parties based on the results of the previous 12th state election held in December last year. He further reiterated that GPS had won the Nangka and Palawan state seats under the parliamentary constituency with the exception of Bawang Asan.
Meanwhile, Sarawak United People's Party SUPP Nangka Branch Chief Chua Beng Seng was reported by a local press on Sunday, October 30th, as confidently saying that the general election will see an end to 12 years of the SIBU parliamentary seat being held by the opposition. Based on the party's success in winning back both the Palawan and Bukit Asit state seats in the last state election, and the party's Nangka, Bawang Asan and Palawan branches would stand solidly behind their candidate to ensure victory. At the same time, Pergerakan Wanita GPS Chief Datuk Sri Fatimah Abdullah said she and the women's wing would not let their guard down, but vowed to work hard and avoid even the slightest mistake to ensure victory for GPS. Apart from the traditional approach of meeting the voters face-to-face, the wing will also go online, especially to convince the new and young voters that they are voting for their good future. The polling is slated to be held on November 19th, while nominations are on November 5th and early voting on November 15th.
The Post-COVID-19 Development Strategy 2030 PCDS 2030 empowers Sarawak to establish a competitive edge by implementing sustainability strategies. As such, embracing such perspective by aligning purpose to value-creating strategies set by the ruling coalition GPS not only contribute to society's efforts to deal with the monumental changes faced in achieving a high-income and developing state by 2030, but also to strengthen the long-term competitiveness. Chief Political Secretary to the Premier of Sarawak, Fazruddin Abdul Rahman, is of the opinion that the future generations will be able to reap the many benefits if the objectives of PCDS 2030 are fulfilled.
Post-COVID Development Strategy, iaitu untuk memastikan Sarawak tu majulah dalam menjelang tahun 2030. Jadi, apa dalam kandungannya dan kenapa ianya penting untuk kita ketahui berkenaan dengan Post-COVID Development Strategy itu? Kerana itulah masa depan kita. Terutama sekali anak-anak muda tu. Mereka bakal mewarisi apa yang telah we laid out for them. Apa yang ditekankan oleh PCDS antaranya untuk elevate Sarawak pun ekonomi from 136 billion ringgit ke 280 lebih bilion ringgit menjelang tahun 2030. Apa efeknya? Efeknya maksudnya akan mewujudkan banyak pekerjaan, akan mewujudkan banyak industri-industri. Jadi dan selain daripada itu, untuk memastikan the economic growth of Sarawak 8% dapat kita capai per annum sehingga tahun 2030.
Commenting on youths, Fazruddin noted that under the leadership of the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, has always listened to the youth feedbacks and fulfilled their aspirations, especially on aspects pertaining to employment opportunities, education and internet coverage.
Kita mendengar, itu yang paling penting sekali. Kita mendengar apa kemahuan beliau tu. Apa buktinya? Buktinya adalah yang pertamanya yang amat berhormat Premier ke seluruh Sarawaknya pergi melalui program yang dianjurkan oleh Kementerian Belia dan Sukan, berjumpa dengan belia-belia, dengarnya pun daripada belia. Apa nak dimau oleh belia tu? Jadi apa nak dimau oleh belia waktunya berjumpa? Kebanyakan seperti yang saya sebut, peluang pendidikan, dana pekerjaan, dana untuk sidangnya mula bisnes. Dan yang paling penting sekali, semua tempatnya pergi, perkara yang sama adalah internet coverage.
He said this during an interview on TVS election program Malaysia Decides on Monday. GPS has proven that stability has indeed contributed immensely to the state's development and the people's well-being. Coupled with people-centric policies and implementation of projects with profound execution by its leaders reflects back on the perks of having a stable governance during trying times such as the pandemic.
Cuba kita lihat, kita imbau kembali apa yang berlaku waktu COVID melanda kita dan apa yang dilaksanakan oleh Kerajaan Sarawak di bawah pimpinan yang amat berhormat Premier kita. Alhamdulillah, oleh kerana keadaan keluarga Sarawak kita tu yang kukuh dari sudut ekonominya, daripada sudut dananya, dapat juaknya memberi bantuan kepada adik kakak kita. Bantuan-bantuan makanan ketika mereka memerlukan dapat juga dihantar oleh sidak YB kita, oleh sidak pegawai-pegawai daerah kita untuk membantu adik kakak kita yang amat memerlukan.
Although some perceive that these aids have minimal impact, however, it was a crucial step undertaken by the state government to care for the welfare of its people, while driving the state's goal of becoming a developed state by 2030, as mentioned in the Post-COVID-19 Development Strategy 2030.
Jadi benda tu dapat ditolong kerana kita mempunyai keadaan kewangan yang begitu kukuh sekali. Kerana ketua keluarga kita bijak mengurus kewangan kita. Kerana kita di rumah, kerana bapa kita bijak menguruskan kewangan. Pandainya nyimpan waktu duit dia ada, pandainya membelanjakan yang diperlukan aja. Sama juga dengan ketua negeri Sarawak kita tu. Setidaknya dapat pandai nyimpan duit ketika kita banyak mempunyai pendapatan, dapat disimpan setidaknya. Supaya apabila datangnya masalah yang besar yang melanda adik kakak semua tu, maka yang amat berhormat Premier senang beri arahan. Bantulah adik kakak kita di kampung-kampung tu supaya setidaknya si merasa susah.
Political party must select women candidates based on their merit and not to fill in the quota allocated of women's representation in politics. According to the Chief Political Secretary to the Premier of Sarawak, Fazruddin Abdul Rahman, the quota of women candidates should not only be limited to 30%.
Fazruddin, who is also Tupong Assemblyman, stressed that if the women's candidates are proven to be a great leaders, the number of quotas is out of the question.
But pandangan saya, it tak semestinya 30%. It can even be 50%. But like I said, it is not going to be hand over to you just like that. We need to fight for it. We need to prove. Kalau memerlukan 50%, kalau nang layaknya 50%, 50% lah. Seatnya perlu 30%. So it has to be that kind of approach.
Fazruddin was met by the reporter after his appearance on Malaysia Decides today. Yesterday, Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said the woman too can become the state's premier as long as she has vision and are able to unite the people of Sarawak.
Punya bagus, lebih daripada 30%, 40%, 50%, maka 50% lah. Ya pandangan saya.
Sarawakians should not be easily swayed by opposition lies, accusations and instigations against the candidates of GPS in the upcoming parliamentary poll. Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Douglas Ugah Embas, strongly warns the people to ignore as the lies spread will be able to cause disunity and disrupt racial harmony and ties. He said these two were also aimed at eroding the support of the GPS and influencing them to vote for the opposition parties. He said when the people decided to support the opposition, there will be an unnecessary interruption to the smooth implementation of the government's development projects and programs for them. On Betong's seat, Ugah again urged its voters to strongly support whosoever would be the GPA's candidate. Ugah said he was confident that GPS candidate would do well in the coming polls as the voters had shown themselves to be very supportive of the GPS government. Micro, small and medium entrepreneurs MSMEs hopes assistance will continue once a new federal government is formed. This was expressed by many entrepreneurs met by TVS. These assistance have not only prevented the closure of their businesses but played a critical role in driving the local's economy.
Kami berharap sempena PRU nanti agar kerajaan memberikan peruntukan geran berupa modal pusingan bagi kami memulakan semula bisnes kami yang setelah ini terkena impak akibat COVID yang lepas, agar ekonomi kami semakin kukuh dan juga memohon agar semakin banyak khusus untuk kami untuk masa yang akan datang dan juga untuk belia-belia nanti.
Kami berharap agar kerajaan memberi peruntukan seperti bantuan barang keperluan untuk kami sebagai usahawan kecil semakin maju dalam bidang yang kami ceburi.
Di harapan kami dalam menghadapi PRU dan selepas PRU kelak adalah kami ingin meningkatkan lagi mutu perkhidmatan kerja-kerja kami orang ataupun kerja supaya lebih meningkatkan lagi pendapatan keluarga. Di samping juga kita nak membantu masyarakat-masyarakat yang di luar sana yang memerlukan pekerjaan untuk menyara keluarganya masing-masing. Jadi ialah harapan kami kepada PRU yang akan datang tu, semoga GPS lah terutamanya dapat mentadbirkan semula kita punya negara lah supaya ekonomi rakyat Sarawak amnya lebih maju, lebih mencabar lagi pada masa hadapan dan kerja-kerja untuk anak muda yang masih banyak berkecimpung bergelumang dengan kerja-kerja asyik berfaedah akan mendapat pekerjaan yang lebih banyak di masa akan datang. Jadi semoga PRU tu kita akan tetap kukuh dan kuat di kita pun ekonomi kita pada masa akan datang selepas kita PRU tu.
Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said on Monday, October 31st, that he still does not know where he will be contesting in GE15 and is prepared to accept any seat offered by the UMNO leadership.
Tak tahulah, ini saya rasa semua keputusan berkenaan dengan calon pilihan raya ini akan diumumkan tidak lama lagi nanti. Biarlah diumumkan oleh pucuk pimpinan parti. Ya, saya terima mana-mana kawasan yang diberikan kepada saya. Okay.
He told this to reporters during a media conference on Monday. The Rembaus incumbent is giving way to UMNO Deputy President Datuk Sri Muhammad Hassan to defend the seat. There had been speculation that Khairi is not on the list of Barisan Nasional BN candidates in Negeri Sembilan, with some media reports saying Khairi is almost certain of contesting the Sungai Buloh parliamentary seat in Selangor. Coming up right after the break, Brazil election, Lula makes stunning comeback. South Korea vows deadly stampede probe right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned.
Jadi peserta yang berjaya ke peringkat separuh akhir jatuh kepada
Welcome back. Tan Sri Tony Francis Fernandez has resigned as AirAsia ex Berhad, AAX Group Chief Executive Officer CEO, effective on Monday, October 31st. In a filing with Bursa Malaysia, the airline cited that the resignation was due to Fernandez's other commitments. The filing did not give any other reasons for the resignation at the time of writing. AAX had redesignated Fernandez as Group CEO in July 2022. A total of 45 teams participated in the 48-hour Smart and Sustainable City Hackathon program, hosted by Unimas Institute of Sustainable and Renewable Energy, ISHWR, and Sarawak Multimedia Authority, SMA. The program aims to nurture critical and problem-solving mindsets among the youths, especially problems that concern energy efficiency and the environment.
And they have successfully come out with very innovative ideas and solutions, especially in regards to the idea involving the smart waste management, smart mobility or smart transportation, and also energy efficiency and conservation. So if we look at these three ideas, these are the main concern, which is very much aligned to the PCDS 2030. And
the program is the first of its kind being held in Sarawak, which involved the participation from both public and private higher learning institutions, including University Technology Marayu ITM Semarahan Branch, Cosmo Point College Kuching, and ICATS College University, among others. Present during the program was the Deputy Chief Scientist and Deputy Advisor of SMA, Professor Insigne Dr. Al-Khalid Othman. Malaysia is currently experiencing a small wave of COVID-19 cases following the discovery of the Omicron XBB subvariant in the country, with a total of 4 cases, or 0.02% last week. Minister of Health Khairi Jamaluddin said that the case comprised of 3 men and 1 woman, aged between 25 to 51 years old, from Selangor and Negeri Sembilan. He said all 4 cases were detected as positive for COVID-19 through genome sequencing surveillance, with all of them in Category 2, where they experienced mild symptoms of fever, cough, sore throat and flu.
Semua kes adalah kategori 2. Maksudnya gejala demam, batuk, sakit tekak yang sederhana saja. Ya, tidak apa terlalu serius. Dan hanya 1 kes saja yang merupakan kes reinfection, maksudnya jangkitan semula. Yang lain semua adalah kes jangkitan pertama. Only 1 case daripada 4 tu adalah reinfection, ya. Dan semua kes telah menjalani isolasi selama seminggu dan kontak rapat pun telah dikenal pasti kes ni. Tapi bagi saya, apa yang kita tahu mengenai XBB ni daripada Singapura, dia lebih kurang samalah dengan varian dan sublineage Omicron yang lain, BA1, BA2, BA5. Kesan dia lebih kurang sama. Dan mungkin kalau ada perbezaan pun adalah dari segi keboleh jangkitan semula. Dan kita masih lagi tengah kaji.
Commenting further, Carey added the XBB subvariant is an Omicron subvariant that has evolved from the existing Omicron BA.2 subvariant. This subvariant is a combination of subvariant BA2 10N1 and BA2 75, as well as showed additional mutations in protein spike. According to Carey, there will be an increase in the number of new cases, and other key indicators are expected following the detection of the Omicron XBB subvariant in Malaysia. Carey also pointed out that Singapore is facing the same wave of the XBB subvariant, and the infection cases of the said variant will be reduced by 3 to 4 weeks.
Sekarang ini kes sedang meningkat, jangan risau, keadaan terkawal. Tapi syur Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia sekarang ini adalah sangat-sangat digalakkan untuk pakai pelitup muka, sentiasa berhati-hati dan selamat mengundi pada pilihan raya umum akan datang. Terima kasih.
Jadi peserta yang berjaya ke peringkat separuh akhir jatuh kepada
Now on to some global affairs. Brazil has taken a turn to the left as former President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva beat far-right incumbent Jair Bolsonaro in the presidential election. After a divisive campaign which saw 2 bitter rivals on opposite sides of the political spectrum go head-to-head, Lula won 50.9% of the votes. It was enough to beat Jair Bolsonaro, whose supporters had been confident of victory. It is a stunning comeback for a politician who could not run in the last presidential election in 2018 because he was in jail and banned from standing for office. He had been found guilty of receiving a bribe from a Brazilian construction firm in return for contracts with Brazil's state oil company, Petrobras. Lula spent 580 days in jail before his conviction was annulled and he returned to the political fray. Since the announcement, congratulations have been coming in from leaders around the world, including US President Joe Biden, who noted the result came following free, fair and credible elections. He added that he was looking forward to continuing cooperation. India's Narendra Modi said he looked forward to deepening ties, while UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak tweeted, "I look forward to working together on the issues that matter to the UK and Brazil, from growing the global economy to protecting the planet's natural resources and promoting democratic values." The death toll from floods and landslide caused by a tropical storm in the Philippines now stands at 98, with 63 missing, the National Disaster Agency said on Monday. The agency added that 69 people were injured as Tropical Storm Nalgae battered the Philippines over the weekend. More than 1.9 million people were affected, out of which 975,000 were displaced. More than 309,000 were staying in evacuation center. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. visited flood-stricken areas in Cavite province on Monday, bringing additional relief supplies. He stressed the need for preemptive evacuation ahead of storms to ensure the safety of residents. South Korean Prime Minister Han Duck-soo has promised a thorough investigation into the Halloween crash over the weekend that killed more than 150, comprising of mostly young people, in the capital and plunged the country into mourning. Officials on Monday said the death toll had risen overnight to 154, with 149 injured, 33 of them in serious condition. President Yoon Suk-yeol, who has declared a period of national mourning and designated Itaewon a disaster zone, visited a memorial altar near the Seoul City Hall and paid his respects to victims on Monday. The crash of partygoers came as Itaewon, a symbol of freewheeling nightlife in the South Korean capital for decades, was starting to thrive after more than 2 years of COVID-19 restrictions, with trendy restaurants and shops replacing seedy establishments. The disaster is the country's deadliest since a 2014 ferry sinking that killed 304 people, mainly high school students. The sinking of the seawall and criticism of the official response sent shockwaves across South Korea, prompting widespread soul-searching over safety measures in the country that are likely to be renewed in the wake of Saturday's crash. Don't forget to catch the third episode of TVS new reality program Getaran Jiwa this Friday, beginning with the Dabaran Jiwa capsule at 7:30 p.m, followed by Getaran Jiwa live concert at 8:45 p.m. The public is also invited to watch the concert at MBKS Stadium, Bintawa. For more information, follow Getaran Jiwa official Facebook page and Instagram. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines, anytime at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media. And also don't forget to catch our comprehensive discussion on GE15 with our daily coverage of Malaysia Decides at 2 p.m. That's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching.